let me get Shashi on that. Diplomatically speaking, that statement made by AK Antony, within 2 hours, Pakistan responds by saying, we are very happy with this assurance of the government of India. So if the government of India were to consider the hard option, won't that be seen as a transgression of its own word?
I think we did the right thing and said the right thing for one very simple reason. We have to ask ourselves, what do the terrorists want us to do? And what they want us to do is, in fact, to exercise a military option. It will give them two major advantages. First, it will actually close divisions within Pakistan and will enable everybody to rally behind the flag if we were to attack them. Naturally, even those who are relatively sympathetic to us, even those who themselves feel threatened by the Islamists, will no longer be in a position to oppose them because they'll have to defend the motherland. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, I think, as Maruf has already mentioned, is that they will have an excuse to remove their troops from the western frontier rather than add to them as the Americans had hoped. The Americans had hoped that that increasing rapprochement and peace between India and Pakistan would permit Pakistan to deploy some troops from the border with us to the border with Afghanistan, where they are serving as the anvil to the NATO hammer. And Taliban and Al-Qaeda and the Islamist elements are caught in between those two.
I'm coming back to you. Maruf, I'm coming back to you. Joining us from Islamabad now is Tariq Fatmi, a very well-respected diplomat, former Pakistan ambassador to the United States. Thank you very much, Mr. Fatmi. Good evening and thank you for coming now. We're talking about the 5 U-turns that Pakistan seems to have taken. Not just sending the ISI chief, not just going soft on the JUD, not just admitting and then denying that Kasab is a Pakistani, not just denying that there has been airspace violation first and then saying something else, and now saying Masood Azhar is not in Pakistan. Why is Pakistan doing this? Does it feel the pressure has eased, or is it being defiant with India?
Well, I would not call these somersaults. What I would call it, the policy is under review. The various stakeholders are discussing the issues. They are expecting and anticipating evidence from India. They have been in touch with the United States and the other European powers. It's a question of an evolution. These things do undergo changes. The main point to note here is not these various events that you have indicated as somersaults, but the fact that the government of Pakistan has been actually bending backwards in order to A, condemn the incident, B, give an assurance to India of its full cooperation, and C, awaiting evidence from India so that action can be taken against those identified in your report. Also, you will note that immediately after the Sanctions Committee of the Security Council passed that resolution and identified certain entities and personalities, the government of Pakistan has taken immediate action. There is a crackdown all over the country. This is proof of the fact that the heart is in the right place. The important thing for India today is to respond to these overtures, to respond to the determination with which the government of Pakistan has been coming forward and making itself available for meaningful cooperation. What we fail to understand is that the Indian government itself has stated that not all the evidence has been gathered, and yet they want Pakistan to crack down on people and personalities that they wish to identify. I think this blame game and this finger pointing is not actually productive. There is already enough tension. The peace process is in a state of pause, or you can say it has been interrupted. The important thing is to get on with the peace talks, try to bring back normalization. Of course, at the same time, assuage the anger and outrage, which is very understandable in India. But people in Pakistan, yes.
Mr. Fatmi, I just have a very simple question. I appreciate the sentiment with which you're saying all this. But your foreign minister went on record to say Masood Azhar is in custody. This is about 46 hours back. He's recorded an interview to Dawn TV. We have a copy of it. Phone interviews all over. He says 46 hours back, he's asked, where is he? He says he's in custody. Now your government says we don't know where he is. This is an international fugitive we are talking about. If Pakistan has the right intent, then how can the government just completely change its position in 46 hours? What is the message that's being sent out? Eventually, it's about honesty, isn't it?
No, you are absolutely right. It is about honesty, but Masood Azhar has never been in the custody of the government of Pakistan.
But
in fact, nobody really knows where he is. If the foreign minister stated so, it must be because of faulty information that he had been provided. You would appreciate that it is not the foreign minister who manages the interior ministry or the intelligence agencies. And foreign ministers do, as has happened in the other cases as well. They do occasionally make mistakes, and we should be a little forgiving about it.
But forgiving is fine. But I'm sure you're a seasoned diplomat, Mr. Fatmi. You'd appreciate if it is inconceivable that, say, the Indian foreign minister would make a statement like that and go back on it in 46 hours.